Well, there's my 85 K5 full-size Blazer that I've been working on for 2 years now. I bought this thing out of a salvage yard. I bought it for the body. The body was rust-free. And these early Chevys like this, that's hard to find as a rust-free one. The motor was blown, transmission was bad, but the body was good. So let me show you a little of what I've done. First thing was to get a new motor in it. So I ordered a 350 from Summit Racing, and I am really pleased with it. It's not hot rodded, it's a stock engine, but I prettied it up a little bit. It's a 350, it's got an Edelbrock intake and carburetor on it, and we put in a polished aluminum 4-row radiator, the Optima red top battery, all kind of goodies. It's got a new master cylinder and vacuum booster. And that's actually what we're working on now. This thing, I started swapping axles about the beginning of winter. Of course, winter came on hard, miserable weather, mechanics had things to do, so it's taken a while. But we finally got the axles under it. I put a disc brake kit on the rear axle, so it's got 4-wheel disc brakes now, and had to order a new master cylinder and booster to accommodate that. So all we got to do is hook up brake lines, get them bled, and she'll be back on the road again. I'm really pleased with how all this is taking shape. So it's got a new motor, everything under the hood is new. We've got new headlight bezels, new grill, it's a square tube grill. Up underneath, we've got a Dana 60 1-ton front axle. It's geared 410, 411, something like that. The wheels I bought to fit those axles came with these tires on them. The tires are wore out, but it was pretty much the size I was going for. These are 38 1450 16s. So after I get it back on the road, I'm gonna run it around and see how the gearing works out. If it works out good, then I'm gonna stay with that size tires. If it's a little bit over geared, I'll have to drop down to 35s. But I'm really hoping that these work out because they look really good on it. Of course, I did have to cut the front fender just a little bit, and I just cut the corners off for now, but I will eventually cut it about even with the bumper here going straight across to give clearance. I just cut the corners so we could move it around the yard here. Got new shocks on it. And then in the back, we've done a shackle flip kit from DIY 4x4. It's got 4-inch lift shackles on it. The whole vehicle's on a 4-inch lift. And then there is our 14-bolt full float Chevy rear end. Supposedly a bulletproof rear end. And of course it's geared 410 or 411. I can't remember what it was now. And it is the Hillbilly Hotrod. Everybody got to have some stickers. and love Big Daddy Ed Roth. You can see the stance on it's going to be really nice. The tires poke out the fenders just enough to let you know that you got some meat under you. Inside, I just put these door panels on. Every piece of these door panels is new. And to do both sides and 2 seat belts was around 600 bucks. And then I had my kick panels made out of polished aluminum tread plate. That was another 100 bucks. But it was money well spent. It turned out really well. Inside we've got some bucket seats from eBay. They worked out really good. Low car floor shifter, which is really fun. I put a used tilt steering column in it. Mine was wore pretty bad, and I found this one and it already had a Momo steering wheel on it, so we got that. Put it in, and I had to wrap it with a cover because the foam was eat up pretty bad. There's my digital oil pressure and water temp gauge. And I've got all digital gauges to replace the dash. So we'll have a digital speedo, digital fuel, oil pressure, and water temp. And a voltmeter. And underneath, if you saw my other video, you know I had a bad experience with a transmission rebuilder. And I wound up, my mechanic found me a TH400 transmission and transfer case. Had to replace them both because this TH400 came out of a heavy-duty truck, and what he told me is it had a bigger output shaft than most of them. And then there's my new $700 high-angle double cardan joint drive shaft. This thing's got new parts all over it. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of aggravation too. A lot of the stuff that I've had to sub out to other people, for some reason around this area, they just act like they'll get to it when they get to it. Everything I do is cash, and it's done as soon as they get it done. If they need money to cover their parts, I give them money to cover their parts. But they just don't seem to want to work. This thing's been sitting here probably 3 or 4 months now. We haven't touched it due to weather and family obligations. So we'll see if she's going to crank up. Took a little bit of coaxing, but she fired. my Hillbilly air conditioner. And these seats, I couldn't use the old seat mounts from the Blazer seats, so I had some steel boxes made. This one I haven't got painted yet. That one's painted. These boxes, I put these latches on so I can actually, I don't have the keys with me, but I can unlock that and lift the whole seat back, and I've got a 6-inch deep storage well, secure storage well there. Unfortunately, with my new project, I'm going to wind up selling this one. So if you're near North Carolina, you want a nice rust-free K5 Blazer with a lot of new parts, then just get in touch with me through this comments at the bottom of this video, and we can make you the proud owner of the Hillbilly Hot Rod.